Luke's knees to chest. Big Ash, finger touching press ups. Nat V sits. Aaron frog jump. And May's black belts. Just one. Has anybody noticed there's a lot of up and down? Yes?
Yeah.
So now what I want you to try and do on this next round is to try and predict what's coming next. For example, Big Ash will start with wide arm press ups. What's Nat going to do?
Leg raises.
So you can predict the next one. Does that make sense? So all I'm going to do on this one this time is I'm going to say your name. Okay, it would definitely be a benefit if, for example, when I say Big Ash, you shout out wide arm press ups. Yes, as a cue to everybody else. This is a bit, won't be quite as fast, and then we'll speed this one up as well. Okay, Big Ash.
Wide arm press up.
Good start, well done. Nat.
Leg raises.
May.
Yes.
Becky. Crocodile press ups. I'll try and remember yours, Becky, so I'll shout them out. Little Ash.
Sit ups.
Luke.
Easy chest.
Big Ash.
Finger touching press ups.
Nat.
V sits.
Aaron. That was frog jumps. May.
Black belt.
And that was round 4. Are we okay? Are we getting the hang of it?
Yeah.
See, it's the first time I've ever done it, but we'll go on that one. So this next time is going to be a speed round of what we just done. So we're going to go faster every time. Becky, if I forget, okay, we'll just have to improvise. So obviously Becky's is something, crocodile press ups. Yeah. Are we ready? So faster this time. I will shout them as you're doing the exercise. Yeah, so I'm going to be slightly ahead of you. Ash.
Wide arm press up.
Nat.
Leg raises.
May.
Burpees.
Becky. Crocodile. Little Ash.
Yes.
Luke.
Easy chest.
Ash.
Finger touching.
Nat.
V sits.
Aaron.
Water jumps.
I've jumped.
May.
Black belts.
If nothing else, we're having a bit of a laugh. Aaron, what are you saying?
Froggy jumps.
All right, I'm only joking. Luke, if you could fill in for Aaron if he doesn't come back in on time. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Now then, this time what I'm going to do, I'm not even going to call names. I'm just going to say, get ready, Ash, and we go. Do we think we can do it?
Yes,
sir. Now, there's a little clue. After all arm exercise, there's ab exercise. After an ab exercise, there's a leg exercise. So it's getting you to know about the muscles and what we're doing. Okay, so I'll give it a go. If it goes horribly wrong, don't worry, I am recording. Are we ready? Ash, get ready, go.
Yep. Wide arm press up.
Leg raises.
Good. Get the timing going well. Becky. Ash.
Easy chest.
Good.
Finger touching.
Good.
V sits.
Luke, improvise. Good.
Black belts.
Excellent. Well done. Okay, that was good. In fact, it was very good actually at times. So what we got to do in between May on her whatever it is, her burpees, automatically go into your crocodile press up. Yes, as soon as that happens, because Becky's got no sound. And then little Ash, you've got to be very clever because you've then got to work out when to shout sit-ups. We okay? Otherwise, that was seamless. Well done, team. Okay, so we're going to have a go. This is round 7, by the way. So we're getting through the rounds. Are we ready? Ash, you okay, Nat? Do you need the toilet?
Yeah.
No. Wait. Ready? Go, Ash.
Wide arm press up.
Good stuff. Good start.
Leg raises. Burpees.
Knees to chest.
Yeah, close. Be wrong.
Go crocodile.
Yeah, it's gone a little bit wrong, hasn't it? Okay, so what happens if it goes wrong?
Try again.
You see those little things where I'm keeping the score? You don't get a little dash there, so we've got to do it again. What happens is, Luke, I think you went a bit too soon. So it's May, then Becky, who's got no sound, which I know is making it a bit more tricky. And Luke, you go after little Ash. Okay, so get ready, and I can't edit that, so it's wrong. We've got to do it again. Are we ready? Big Ash.
Wide arm press up.
Leg raises. Burpees.
Knees to chest.
Good, we got it. Keep going.
Finger touching.
B6. Jump. Black belt.
Excellent, well done. Give yourself a little round of applause. You got your little thing. Now then, here is the next one. Who thinks they can go even faster? Okay,
Yes,
so you've got
sir.
to get your timings right. Obviously, it's tricky with Becky not having the sound in. It shouldn't make any difference whatsoever if you know the order and you know your timings. Yep, so this is number 8. Ready, go.
Wide arm press up.
Leg raises. Burpees. Push-ups.
Well done, little Ash.
Knees to chest.
Good stuff.
Finger touching.
B6.
Frog jumps, then.
Black belt.
Yeah, that's it. Okay, give yourself a shake off. Just taking a little bit longer than I anticipated, but don't worry, this is fine. Now then, this is the last round. Anybody not noticed a mistake? We've only done 8. So how can this possibly be the last round? Because we're doing a double. Should be jogging, remember. So then what's going to happen? Ash, you're going to start it all off, and it will go all the way through to May to do the black belts. As soon as we've done black belts for the first time, Big Ash, you're back in, starting it all off again. So it's a double round. So 20 exercises. Are we ready?
Yes, sir.
Go.
Wide arm press up.
Leg raises. Luna. Burpees. Push-ups.
Good, little Ash. You've got quite a roll there.
Finger touching.
B6. Jump. Black belt.
Wide arm.
Leg raises. Burpees.
Good, well done.
Knees to chest.
Finger touching.
D6.
Top jump.
There's one left.
Black belt.
Did I say it too quiet?
Yeah, he did say it. I heard Darren say it. Okay, give yourself a good shake off and go get yourself a quick drink if you need one. Little Ash, well done there because you kept the timing going really, really well. Just as other ones are coming back bit by bit, lesson planning now. So your lessons should always try and reflect the ability of the class that you've got in front of you. Yeah. So sort of when we did our exercises there, that's where I'm saying, try and do the easier stuff earlier on and then build up. And it's a bit like that with your planning of your classes. Start a little bit easier and then build up towards the end. Yeah. Does that make sense? So then I'm going to get one person tonight, just one person, to take our stretch for us. Who wants to do that?
I will.
Oh, Big Ash, are you volunteering?
I will, sir.
Yeah, sorry you two, you both volunteered, but you were both so close again, and you have both taken lots of stretches recently, if that's okay. So we're going to get Big Ash. If we can't see all of you on the thing, don't worry too much. You just got to be more vocal with how you explain things.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. You okay, Becky? Okay, good. Let's go then. Over to Big Ash.
All right, arms out, close stance, and bow. Take this arm across your body, other arm underneath, and look to the opposite wall. And release, change sides.
Now, certainly with these online classes, I'm not too bothered about lefts and rights. In class, we work on that a little bit more. And the reason why it's very difficult to work out what's everybody else is seeing. So don't worry about lefts and rights too much.
Mm-hmm.
But hopefully when we get back, it will matter.
And release. Put your arms in this position and turn through to this way. Other side. And release. Everybody sit down on the floor. Legs straight out in front of you and touch toes. If you're having any issues touching your toes, just try and work down your shins to your ankles.
It's the same every time. Because I'm look this now, I don't change it at all. I just use the same login every time, so the code's the same.
And release. Widen out your legs as far apart as they'll go. This hand, this foot.
Keep those legs flat.
If you can, put your head on your knee.
Ash, when you finish this, I don't know if you've done the other side or not. Bring your legs back together and that'll do you then, because I want to take over if that's all right. That's enough stretching for this part, so thank you.
Other side.
Okay, while we're just finishing off, try and have a look at May doing her stretch.
And release. Both hands, both feet. If you find touching your toes too easy, swap your hands around. And release. Everybody stand up.
And
Arms
well
out.
done. Give it a good shake off.
Shake off. Arms out. Close stance. And bow.
Okay, sorry, Ash, I talked over you a little bit there. Just come forward
No
to the
worries.
cameras. And the reason why I just showed you then what that bit that was there, Big Ash was doing a sort of the ninja stretch, we call it, for a beginner class, which was absolutely fine. May, yours was just slightly more intense way of doing the strain stretch. I certainly, May, wouldn't do what you did, show them that in the beginner's class. Yeah, if that makes sense. So don't try and be too smart in a beginner's class. Yeah. And I'm going to show you some examples now of being a little bit too smart. And some of these are real life examples. So then we've stretched the arms off already with this stretch. You're also stretching your deltoids here. So I'm going to now stretch this muscle here. So I want you to stand up. The way you can do this one is take this arm up and place your hand on the top here. Now at this stage, what you're doing is you're stretching your tricep. Yeah, so keep stretching even though I've stopped. Now, do beginners really need to know that that is your tricep? No. All they need to do is to stretch muscles, don't they, really? Reality is I might start referring to muscles like that leading up to your exam. Why would I? I'll give you the answer. I would repeat, forget what I've just said in the last 30 seconds. So then, why might I mention muscles in a more advanced class? Leading up to your exam, sort of type thing. Chain sides. And when you're finished, which will be sometime now, just give your arms a good shake off. Shake off. Now then, would we describe that as a beginner, intermediate, or more advanced level arm stretch? I would say that's beginner-ish level, to be quite honest. Fairly simple, and it's certainly a stretch you could do in a beginner's class. Now, the next one I'm going to do, it's into your back muscles, and you work out what level this stretch is at. So, standing like this, you won't possibly see my legs. Make fists, you probably know the ones I'm doing. It might look the wrong height. I'm changing it so you can see it to the camera how I'm doing it. That one, everybody do that for me. Keeping your arm, your hands, your elbows and your shoulders level with the camera. Pull back a little bit more. Straighten your back up. And arms back and give them a good shake off. Now then, what level would I describe that stretch at? Who felt that in their back? And it was like not painful, but a little bit not as nice as normal. Yeah. And really, you don't want beginners to go through that. We know we're not going to be it, but I wouldn't subject beginners really to that stretch. We okay with that?
Yeah.
Yep. Now, the next one we're going to do is ab stretching. Now, there are a number of ab stretches that we do. We do one almost all of the time. And I think one of you did this. I didn't see a Big Ash if you saw this one. This one? Yeah. Is that the one you did?
No, I did this.
Okay, that's fine. So when you're doing that, and believe it or not, not on the black belt exam, you're stretching the obliques. So this is the abs, the center muscle of the tummy. This is the obliques to the side. Yeah. Now I'm going to show you a more advanced one. And this, again, is one that I wouldn't try and show off in a beginner's class. In fact, you guys, I probably wouldn't show this one at all. If you've got a belt on, turn your belt to the side. Yeah. So already I'm thinking safety on this one. Yeah, because this is where your belt fits in. Now, I'm not sure how well I can show you this one, but I'll give it a go. So you're going to go onto your belly itself. And then for 10 seconds, you're going to lift the front part of your body up off the floor and hold. Okay, so get yourselves onto the floor. And we're going to hold just for 10 seconds. And when you finish 10 seconds, I'll get you to stand back up. So ready, lift. All of your body touching the floor apart from above your waist and your arms. That comes off the ground. And that's about 10 seconds. So stand back up. Now, if we did this normally, I would get you to stay on the ground for this. So it's best to stay on the ground, but obviously I want you to see what I'm doing. We'll put the camera back down. So just watch me first of all, don't do anything else. Now this time I'm going to do almost the opposite. I'm going to lift my legs up and everything on the front part of my body stays touching the floor. And again, you're going to hold for about 10 seconds. Okay, so onto the floor. Ready, lift the lower part of your body off the ground, go. Obviously your hips have got to stay on the ground, that's fine, Nat. And relax. Now you might as well stay on the floor from this, just listen, this time you're going to lift up the top half and the bottom half and pretty much just your hips stay on the ground. And we're going to hold for 10 seconds. Ready, go. And relax onto the floor. Get yourself up onto the feet, come to the camera. What level would we describe that as?
Medium.
Yeah, it's sort of a bit more than the other one, and you could, again, not pain, but it's more uncomfortable. Any disadvantage of doing that one in the class?
There's a lot of room.
Maybe. And also, I didn't have enough room, that's definitely true. You're not really doing your obliques on that one as well, so, you know, it's up to you on that. But I certainly wouldn't use that for a beginner's class. You guys, I wouldn't mind you doing that occasionally in class, but I wouldn't want to see that all of the time, so it's a bit different. There are other ab stretches as well. So now we're going to go on to leg stretches. Do's and don'ts of stretches. Which stretch shouldn't you start a stretch off with? What stretch shouldn't you start off with in leg stretch? Aaron?
Box splits.
Box splits. Why box splits?
Because
It's
you
one
have
of the more intense ones. We'll always do something leading up to box splits, if that makes sense. Yeah, so we will do box splits. So what other leg stretch could we do? Now, people always think, I know what we could do. We could do the ninja stretch. Now, I would either do box splits or ninja stretch. I wouldn't do both in a class. You could do, it's no problem doing it. But what I'd try and do is do something slightly different. Yeah, so you could do, for example, straight back, then down, touch your toes, for example. So everybody give that one a go. Let's go. Okay, safety on this one, you shouldn't hold it for too long because your head's usually lower than the rest of your body, or some of your body. So straighten yourself back up. So 10 seconds on that one's enough. What part of the body really was we stretching then? More of the backs of the legs.
The back of my knees.
So we need something else. What could we do? Yes. Big Ash.
Butterfly stretch.
Go on then, let's see butterfly stretch. Yeah, that's a good one. And that's almost like a box splits-y type one. Yeah, so that's it. Remember, elbows to push knees down now. I know you're supple, Ash, but still show everybody the pushing the knees down, because that's important. Let's see the butterfly stretch then. Okay. And the further you pull your feet in towards your groin, the more intense the stretch is. So if you need to make that more intense, a beginner level, just show them the stretch, like Ash's demo at the moment. If you wanted to do it for a more intermediate, advanced class, show them the elbows on the knees. Yeah, and even explain about pulling the feet in towards the groin. Because a lot of people have their feet flat on the ground, but their feet are miles away. Yeah, and then all of a sudden when they pull them in, they realise, oh, my knees are off the ground. So then you've got to encourage them to get the knees down on that. Okay, that'll do. Everybody stand up. Shake legs off. So then from there, we've done sort of beginner level stretches and we've done sort of intermediate, more advanced level stretches. Now at this stage now, when you've done some stretches, now you can go onto your box splits, you can go onto your scissor splits. Yeah? So should we have a go at doing box splits and scissor splits? So Becky, if you could talk us through that, please. Oh, no, you can't talk us through. Luke, if you can talk us through box splits, scissor splits, you're lucky, Becky, you got away with that one.
Take your legs out 78% of the way out.
Bradley, you okay?
Yeah, I'm just flicking through so I can see Luke.
Okay, that's fine. Okay.
And then you slowly take your hands down the backs of your legs.
Some dogs video bombed.
And then try and touch your ankles.
And scissor splits, Luke.
And then you turn your body to the left or the right. And so you got it straight. Put your front foot facing up and your back one facing down. And just take your back leg out a little bit. And then change sides. That's it.
Good. Well done. Shake yourself off. Now then, for you guys who always like doing things more intense, there are things called dynamic stretches, which is sort of leg swings. When should you do leg swings, do you think?
Warm up.
You could, but you can't go to level 10, can you? Because you haven't stretched off then. I would suggest the time to do leg swings is when you have stretched off. Okay, so maybe have it as your icing on the cake of your stretch. Okay, so we're going to finish with leg stretches, leg swings. So we know how to do them. Everybody into left stance. Number 1, about waist height, going higher than the head, or at least as high as the head if you can on number 10. Everybody ready?
Yep.
Straight, alternate the guard. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Natty, you on a slippy floor. 4, 5. Are you on a
No,
slippy
no.
floor?
No.
Okay. Forgot what I was on. 6, I think.
Yeah.
7, 8, 9. Big one come in. 10. Remember, you always do both sides. Change stance. On all stretches, always both sides. 1, 2. Good, nice control here. Don't go too high, too quick. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Little ash, keep guard up. 8, 9. Last one. 10. And shake yourself off. Now, Jamie did one the other week, which was a good one. It's one I don't do quite so often. You can use a chair for this, or you can do it without if you want. And it's basically just going from a side stance. You're just going to swing your leg up. Yeah, we can do this 1 to 10 as well. So if you need to hold on to something, get something to hold on to.
Well, on Windows,
Or you
so
can just
that's
do it.
fine.
You don't need anything really to hold on to. Sorry, Bradley.
Oh, so I've got my Windows surf, that's fine.
Okay, you do whatever. Yeah, I'm fine. Are we ready? So just watch. This is worth watching.
Okay.
Ready? Whichever side, doesn't really matter. 1, not too high. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You can lean with it now. Keep your legs straight. 8, 9. That's 1. 10. Change stance or whatever, or change hands or change something. We're going to do the other side. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The last guard. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, give yourself a really, really good shake off. Now then, that pretty much concludes the stuff tonight. We haven't done a lot of techniques. Come forward to the camera. Just informal, chill, by the way. Yeah. Now, just before we go, Claire just picked up on something. People just going, yeah. Okay. in the classes online, it is yes, sir. And the reason why other students might see them. Yes. So I don't want the standards of the discipline dropping. Yes, I know I'm fairly informal at times. When I'm teaching, it should be formal though. I'll have a bit of a laugh and a joke. At the end now, when we're chilling out, then we can be a little bit more informal. Just to let you know, guys, I'm still recording this bit because this is quite good for students to see. So it's still part of the lesson. So then, what have we learned tonight about building up classes?
Start small.
Start slow, build up. Always do it that way. Now, even in the beginner's class, always leave the good stuff till the end. Yeah? So do the easier stuff to start with and build up. And that goes the same with an intermediate class. Perhaps where you start is a little bit higher than where it was for beginners, and so on and so on. The lesson format always follows a similar pattern. So then we're going to go through the pattern first of all. What do we start the very start of the class off with?
Welcome back.
Welcomes is a great place to start. Whether you put that on your lesson plans is completely up to you. Myself, I do that naturally, so I wouldn't put it on a lesson plan. But if you're teaching, for me, certainly I'd expect you to do some sort of welcomes and maybe just outline what you're going to do a little bit. Yeah. And I would possibly do that almost straight away on a jog. You don't want to be having people just sat around, stood around, listening to you droning on. Yeah. So after we've done the welcomes, what do we do next?
Loosen off.
Loosen off. Call it whatever you want. Mobilizing, loosening off, whatever you. The lower level stuff, just loosening everything and getting everything moving. Remember, you might have considerably older people in the class and they will need to loosen off more so than maybe the young ones. Yeah, a young one possibly, little lass, get ready, do 10 burpees, go. You don't have to. But an older person doing that would be too much for them. Yes, it's just the way that it is. So now we've loosened ourselves off. The next thing is pulse raisers, just where you need to get the pulse up a little bit before you go into the warm-up itself. Yeah, the warm-up side of it should always be stepping up and up and up. Remember when I started the warm-ups off, I was talking in between, getting you guys to, but at the end we threw two together. So we're always lifting up levels. Yeah, everybody happy with the first part, the warm-up stage?
Yep.
Then we go on to the stretching. Now then, sometimes I'll send people off for drinks. It takes a long time for everybody to have a drink. So if it's not a particularly hot class, I wouldn't send people off the floor for drinks. It's up to you. But remember, people would, in theory, normally be paying. You don't want to be paying for seeing a kid drink. But that's me. Stretching wise, I always go arms, tums, legs. Now, I noticed on Monday's class, we swapped the order around a bit. I think we went tums, arms, legs. There's absolutely no problem with doing that whatsoever. The reason why I always go arms, tums, legs, and I know you guys do it because you've copied what I do, good habits if you like, you don't forget then. Now, at the most extreme, I think once, maybe twice in 20 years of teaching, I have forgot to take a stretch. You guys should never, ever do that. Okay, never, ever forget. The reason why you get wrapped up in something, you're getting all excited in the warm, and I forgot to do the stretch. I've gone straight into the main thing. Yeah, so definitely that's a no. You must do the stretch and do both sides. Beginners class, they only need to do basic stretch. I would not have a problem if you just did one arm stretch, one sort of ab stretch, maybe obliques as well, and maybe what basic leg stretching. That would be more than enough. Yeah. If in an advanced level class, for example, I asked you to take a complete stretch, what I would do is throw one thing in that's maybe slightly different. What you don't want to do is what I just did, everything slightly different, because it's going to confuse even the more advanced level students. And also there's always a safety risk. What did I say to Nat halfway through doing the leg stretches? Well, not halfway through, as soon as I spotted, are you on a slippy floor? Why did I ask you and not anybody else?
Because I was wearing socks.
And I couldn't see the floor. So safety first on everything you do. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That goes for the whole of the lesson. Absolute number one priority, safety. You do not want accidents in the class. Stretching, everybody's sort of okay with stretching.
Yep.
Now then, you guys that are here, I'm not doing a class next Monday, unfortunately. I've told most of you the reason why. Now, the next time I do a Zoom online class for beginner level, which will be a Monday class, probably the week after next, I want one of you guys to take a beginner's level class, stretch, if that's okay. So just doing the norm. It might be you, mate, or might be you, Ash. I know you like taking stretches. And then maybe the next week I'll get somebody to do an intermediate level stretch in this class on a Wednesday, and then maybe I'll get you to do an advanced level stretch. Yeah, so adding bits on if you like. Now remember, and this is really important, just because it's a beginner level stretch, it shouldn't be, right, take this arm across the body. Yeah, why shouldn't it be that? Because you've got no enthusiasm into it. Remember, those beginners might be thinking, wow, this is going to be the best class ever. And then they see something, and that's really going to affect them in their performance. Does that make sense? Now, what you can't do is go over the top as well. Remember, we're stretching. Stretching should be fairly low key, but it should be very crisp what you're doing. Yep. Then when you've done your stretch, would you send people off for a drink again? No. Maximum of once per lesson. Only in really extreme heat would you might send people off again. Yeah, on Zoom online classes I do, because it's slightly different. Main theme, what you need to do is to always have an objective for your class. Now, reality, I should have told you that before we even started lesson planning. An objective from the class. Now, tonight, what do you think my objective was really?
Stretching.
Yeah, it was more to do with stretching and the order of classes. And I told you that right at the very start, if that makes sense. So that was my objective tonight. That's usually not an objective at all. Yeah, my objective might be movements, might be developing a good guard and defense. It might be a kicking lesson, might be purely fitness, might be a conditioning class, might be all sorts of different things. But you should try and follow your theme. And the warm-up should reflect your main theme. Yeah? So if you're doing a kicking class, what should your warm-up involve?
Legs.
Legs. Does that make sense?
Yep.
If I was doing a boxing class, does that mean I don't have to do any legs?
No, because you could, it's boxing.
You use your legs a lot in boxing as well, so it should involve some sort of legs. Would you need to do leg swings if you was boxing?
No.
No, it's totally the wrong stretch for that sort of class. Should you do box splits? Well, it might not be.
Sort of, yeah.
It's sort of. It wouldn't be wrong. It may be in between. But doing some sort of basic leg stretches, definitely down the backs of your calves. Has anybody been for like a 2-hour session with me and you go home and your calf muscles are throbbing? Yeah?
Yeah.
So that's showing that you're taking a lot of pounding on those calf muscles. So I'd say in a boxing lesson, definitely get the calves stretched. Yep.
Yep.
So then, after you've done your main theme, what could you do?
Yeah, can you get mats and cover this whole worktop with mats, please?
What type of mat? Big, small?
No, you shouldn't do that at the end of the class. Yeah, I thought it was a good class because I heard mats then, and I thought that's actually not a bad answer, because yes, you can do exactly what we're doing now. You could have a bit of a mat chat. Yeah. Obviously, in a normal class, time is really, really precious. And if you did a 2-minute mat chat, that is absolutely maximum time. Maybe if we had a big event on a Christmas party or something like that, might take a little bit longer. But this obviously is different because we've got more time and I can explain this sort of stuff to you. You could do cool down stretches, and you should do. I almost always say give yourself a shake off, just loosen yourself back off at the end of the lesson as well. So it's important you do some sort of end of the class. Yeah, little ninjas, you might give out the belts, the tags, that sort of type stuff at the end, but always everything should be happening at that time. That end of the class is really, really precious time. Now, as soon as the class finishes, quite often then parents will come up to you and ask you loads of questions, and you will probably have another class that's starting as well. Yeah, time is really, really precious at that time. I think that pretty much covers lesson planning. Now then, what I might do, but I won't do it next time. I might do it, I don't know, maybe in a couple of 3 weeks' time. we will actually get you to write a lesson plan out. Now, what I'm not going to do is correct you on spelling and stuff like that. That is mine. Look at it. It's a scruffy. Why is a written planner always a good idea? You've got something to work to. You may have seen me in the past. Don't stand up because you just stay where you are. Where I'm like this and I'm going, everybody jogging on the spot. And roll your arms forward. What have I just done?
Check your plan.
Just check my plan. Now, reality, if I hadn't told you that, you might not have even picked up on that. Yeah? Now then, what I might start doing, I haven't done this for a long time, I might start writing lesson plans when we get back in class and giving them out to you in advance so you know what the lesson plans are. So if your SWAT team member coming in, you can actually see in advance what we're going to do. So I'll say sort of like, Brad, we're going to do the stretch tonight, that sort of type thing. So you can really see how we work with these lesson plans. Yep. So that pretty much concludes tonight's class. I was going to have a little chat at the end, but unfortunately we've run out of time pretty much, unless anybody's got a really important question. And sorry, little Ash, it's not Netflix tonight. Has anybody got anything that they need to ask really importantly? No. Now what I'm going to ask you all to do, we're going to finish there. I'm going to stop recording. So well done. Everybody give me a virtual high five. Perfect. If I can ask everybody just to log out, apart from, well, Becky, we can't do the chat anyway because you can't speak to me. I'll probably speak to you between now and next week, Becky, if that's okay. Yeah, so bye everybody. Take care. So I'll speak to you soon, Becky. Yeah.
Bye.
Bye then, team. Becky, don't worry. You can. What I was going to do, if you could do your class next week, as long as it's not a major problem to you, just nod your head. Yeah, that would be great. Because obviously I can't do my class. After that, don't worry, don't panic. I don't want to put any pressure on you whatsoever. Yeah, you okay with that? I can speak to you now because I think everybody's gone anyway. Obviously, we'll keep paying you at the moment, but I can't promise that will happen indefinite. And like I've said right from the start, but at the moment, I want to keep on paying you if that's okay. Yeah. And I think that's pretty much it. What I would do, Becky, carry on with the platform you've been using for Little Ninjas Live, because that's what everybody knows and loves. Start messing with a winning formula. Notice I've said the word winning, and it could go wrong. You might generate a little bit of interest, I don't know, but I wouldn't mess around with a winning platform at the minute. So I'd stick with your Facebook Live, I would. Definitely put an event up, and I would put that event up earlier as opposed to later, possibly even beginning of the week, because then you've got maximum time to generate time. Once you've got a loyal audience, they would almost join without you doing that event. But because this is a one-off, you've got to canvass it a little bit, yeah? So that would be my piece of advice, and I really hope it works really well. I'll definitely be tuning in for your Little Ninjas Live, by the way. It's just next week, and I'll tell you this very quickly, what I'm doing. My day job, I've got visitors coming in all week, and it's a really tough time. And one of the mornings I've got to be up at 3 o'clock in the morning. Well, the last thing I want to do when I'm at 3 o'clock in the morning is looking tired for these classes. And I think Claire's telling me that is my maximum time up. All right. If you've got any questions leading up to next week, just ask, but I think you're doing a great job. Okay. Take care then.